So we bought another bike, sight unseen, delivered without even going and have a look at it just because it was so far away. I got a feeling, even though this was as cheap as it was, this might be a little bit more than I expected and a lot more to take on. Let's find out. What is up, YouTubers and lovers of budget cars and bikes? Welcome back to the channel and a new project for the channel. We have just had delivered, literally just had delivered this beautiful Triumph Bonneville T120 Black. And no, you're not seeing double. We have actually done one of these on the channel before. If you look back through my previous videos, I'll stick it in up here somewhere throughout this video. But we've done a T120 Black before as well, but that was a slightly different story. That was a 2017, but I think we bought that in 2019, so it was only a couple of years old. It was absolutely showroom condition. It had 3,000 miles. It was like new basically, and I bought that and I loved it, and I spent a right lot of money on it, kind of just upgrading it to the way I wanted it to be, and then kind of stupidly sold it, which I've always kind of regretted. And then this popped up on Auto Trader. Now it was up at a price that didn't seem to make a lot of sense comparable or compared to other bikes of this year and this model, as it were, the T120 Black. So I had another look into it and I got chatting to the guy. I don't think he was an English guy, and he was on his way back to wherever it is he came from. We didn't actually get into that conversation because invariably I don't meet up with these people. I don't go and view the bikes, that kind of stuff. If he's that far away, he was in London, so obviously going and viewing the bike wasn't really an option. So I had to do what I usually do in this scenario, and I got him to send me down quite a lot of videos, to be fair. I mean, I can be quite annoying, I'm sure, when it comes to buying a bike at distance, because the only way you can really make a judgment call when you're buying a bike without seeing it is getting as many close-up, high-definition pictures as you can and as many videos as you can. And I kept spotting little things, and basically I decided to take a chance on it. Now, this is the cheapest, or it was the cheapest T120 Black in the country, possibly even in Europe. That's a fact. I mean, I've looked around at these for a long time since selling mine, just to see if the prices would drop, and they haven't. And this is without doubt the cheapest one on the market, and there are reasons for that. Primarily it's because it's done 21,000 miles, which is a hell of a lot for a 17 plate, one of these T120 Blacks, because they tend to be owned by older gentlemen, connoisseurs shall we say, like myself. And they don't ride a huge amount. They're not commuter bikes in that respect, generally speaking. They're not touring bikes. They're just a really nice way to go out on a Sunday and have a nice bike ride without any kind of real drama, and that's what people tend to do with these. Now this is done, as I said, over 21,000 miles, and we're going to look around it now and I'll show you all the things that are not quite right with the bike. There are issues here, in there, up in there. There's a nice little scratch there, and there, and there, and there, and the chain doesn't look great, and there, and also there. And it looks like at some point somebody has had this headlight out, because as you can see it's tighter around here than it is up on its top edge here, which means somebody's taken this off to do something and hasn't put it back on properly. And here, and down in here, and a little dent here. There's corrosion in these little kind of fake carburetors as well, and there too, and there. So what are the plans for this bike then? As you can see, it's had a hard life. I mean, I would imagine it's probably been a commuter bike. It could have even been a kind of courier bike. It wouldn't be the choice I would have made for a courier bike, but for the mileage and the condition, it's obviously been stored outside, and it's obviously been ridden hard and put away wet. The service history on it is impeccable. That is one of the reasons I bought it. Although it's done 20,000 miles, it's had its valve check service, all at Triumph. So I've got a whole service book full of stuff like that, which fills me with confidence. The oil level is where it should be. It's crystal clear. All the brake fluid levels are where they need to be and crystal clear. It's got a really, really, really good service history. Cosmetically, it needs some love, but mechanically, it's been very, very well loved. And we are going to make it look much better cosmetically. So what did we pick up? What do I spend all my money on? Basically a lot. As you can see, we have got a lot of stuff going on here. These are my plans basically for this T120 Black over the next few weeks. I can't, as I said, do very much at the moment because I'm waiting to do the MOT, which is a couple of weeks away, because I don't want any drama by fitting all of this and then the MOT station saying, oh, it's too loud, or it's too this, or it's too that. So I think the best thing to do is just to MOT it in its stock form, hope to God, fingers crossed, that it passes, and then we can get on with the project. And as you can see, it is quite a project. I reached out to Tech Bike Parts, who are a UK-based company who deal with all these modern classics, older bikes, the T120s, the T100s, the Scramblers, all that kind of good stuff from Triumph, and they have a host of parts as well. And as I said, they're UK-based, which is always a bonus. It makes me feel better buying stuff from the UK rather than cheap crap from China. And they have agreed to send out this huge box of stuff, basically, for me to fit on to the T120 Black, give you my opinion on them, see how it looks, and basically tell you whether it's worth buying. So let's start at the top. They've sent me these LED indicators here, which I'm not quite sure I'm going to use, but I'd be interested to see your feedback on those, guys. Do you like those, or would you actually prefer these like I do? Now these are metal, kind of a flat black metal indicator, bullet style, which are going to fit obviously front and back. They're going to look very much more like the originals, but obviously a lot better because these are LEDs. I think I'll probably go with those, but let me know your thoughts on those as well. There's various bits of wiring here for the tail tidy and the indicators. There's a set of levers as well from Tech Bike Parts, the alloy levers. There's this funky little guard here, which is for the clutch cable. I've seen that a couple of times, and it looks nice actually, I've got to say. There's the tail light there as well as an LED tail light. They sent me out a set of silver bar end mirrors and a set of black bar end mirrors. So again, what do you think? Do you think it would look better with silver or black bar end mirrors? I'm leaning towards the black if I'm honest, but I'd be interested in your thoughts. There's some blanking plates for those. There is the tail tidy as well. Now the tail tidy I know all about. I fitted it on my last T120. It's brilliant, it looks awesome, it's really easy to fit, but I will do a quick time lapse showing you how to fit that if you're interested. I bought this screen as well privately off eBay. That was about 25 quid because again I think that's going to look really nice up there, a little kind of tinted screen. And I bought I got a Sump Guard from Tech Bike Parts. Again, that's going to fit in just underneath there, and I think that's going to look really, really nice because that again is a flat black. And I also reached out to Norman Hyde. They are another UK based company who tend to deal with these modern classics, older bikes, that kind of stuff, and they have got this budget range of end cans here for the T120 Black. Now you can buy universal end cans for the T120, well, for any bike obviously, and you can fit them on here. They're fitted with these kind of connector rods here, which means that you can fit them to any bike. I don't actually like the chrome on that, so what I might do is whip those off, sand them, and then spray them in a black flat hammerite just to go along with the rest of it. But you know, these guys over at Norman Hyde, they sent these out. These are their budget range ones. They're about 280 quid I think, which compared to most of the others, I mean even the Remus, they are about 700 or 800 quid. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these sound on the bike, and they've gone to the trouble of making sure that they fit properly, they sound all right in their opinion, and they've also sent out this whole pack of goodies here as well. Like we've got link pipes, we've got exhaust clamps, probably some grease I imagine, and some gasket sealer, that kind of stuff. So you get all that with these as well, just for the extra. And as I said, for the peace of mind and knowing full well that if anything goes wrong you can send them back, you can call them on the phone. They're UK based, you might pay a bit more, but you get a little bit more confidence when you buy this kind of stuff from companies like Norman Hyde. So we're going to fit that, but in the meantime we're also going to fit this X pipe, which I picked up off a Facebook group. I've heard a lot of good stories about these X pipes, and we are going to try to fit that. But what we'll do is we'll make a whole separate video on the Norman Hyde cans. We'll do a sound check with the pea shooters, we'll do a sound check with the Norman Hydes, and then we'll put the X pipe on, and we'll do another sound check with the end pipes and the Norman Hyde cans. It'll give you a real overview of what they sound like. Are they any good? Should you buy them? And lastly, we've got ourselves a set of shocks, because as you saw hopefully throughout the first part of this video, these shocks are quite shocking, and that makes me think that these have been left outside. So I found these on, I think this was on eBay actually, and they were 30 quid plus 5 quid postage, and they are in mint condition. I didn't want to go overboard and spend 200 quid on shocks. I'm not that kind of rider. This is just a little bimble bike for me in that respect. So basically they're going to do fine. It does need a very, very good clean, as you can see from the pictures we did right in the beginning. And I've also got, which hasn't arrived yet, a new stator cover, timing cover rather, for the other side, not the clutch side, the other side. Again, I picked that up off eBay. That was about 60 quid, but that's in mint condition. So we're going to swap that out with some gasket sealant rather, and then basically the bike should be done. So if you're interested in seeing how this bike turns out over the next, I think it's probably going to be over the next couple of months, because as I said, I've got to wait a little while now basically to get the MOT sorted, and then once that's done I can start fitting these bits down here, all this lovely stuff from Tech Bike Parts and from Norman Hyde as well. Massive shout out to them, really, really appreciate your support with this. And we are going to fit a lot of this stuff together. Some of it will be on time lapse, some stuff like indicators I'll probably just do a set at the back, and then you'll get the idea of how they fit and how they look. The exhaust we're going to do a full video on, and the tail tidy and Sump Guard, we're going to do all that kind of stuff as well. So as I said, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, a like, a share, all that kind of good stuff. And we are going to jump on right now and take it for a little spin so you get an idea of what I think of it as it is in stock form, with the pea shooters, all the rest of it. And then we'll do another ride right at the end of this entire series to let you know how I feel about it with the new end cans, the X pipe, all the other bits and bobs that are on the bike. Was it worth it? Should you do it? You know, did it make any benefit to the bike, as it were? You know, does it make your riding any more pleasurable, or was it just cosmetic? So find out. We're going to jump on now, take it for a quick spin and see what it's like in stock form. So we're going to jump on and take this little beauty for a ride. It's been actually a couple of weeks since I did the first part of this video. I wanted to wait a little while, as I mentioned in the first part of this video. As I said, we need to get an MOT sorted out. So it's been 2 or 3 weeks and we are now actually going to take it out for its first little ride. We're going to take it for an MOT and we're going to be fingers crossed that this is actually going to pass and not present any kind of unexpected problems, shall we say. So let's jump on and have a little look. So the very first thing you'll notice when you jump on one of these and try to start it up is just how quickly the starter motor spins over and how easy it is to get going compared to some of the older Triumph Bonnevilles, I'm sure. We're going to have to hopefully pull the clutch in, and so bear with me while I just quickly press the start and you'll hear this. As I said, it's incredibly fast, the starter motor on this. And the other thing you'll notice as well if you take one of these for a ride is just how easy the clutch is. It is like it's not even there. I've ridden a lot of motorcycles in my time and I've never had a lighter clutch than you get on the Bonneville. As I was saying, guys, the clutch on these T120 Blacks is just sublime. I've never known a clutch quite so light. I am going to change the levers. We spoke about all the things that we're going to do to this bike. Do apologise for the wind as well. I'm not quite sure why, but there's a lot of wind around at the moment. Anyway, as I was saying, the clutch on these things is just sublime. The starting is just ridiculously easy. It's just an incredibly easy bike to own and ride this. So we are off to get its MOT. It's actually not due to run out until the end of this month. We're in June. It's the 2nd of June. It's Jubilee weekend. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's Jubilee weekend. I'm off to hopefully get the MOT, because although the old boy that does my MOT said come on the 2nd, I'm not sure if he realised it was going to be an extended bank holiday. So well, we're just going to go along there and take this for its first ever ride. I'm not sure how much you can hear when it comes to the engine note on this bike as it is in stock form, but we are going to do a stock form, as it were, the engine noise, the exhaust noise, all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to do it with the end cans, and then we're going to do it with the X-pipe and the end cans from Hyde. And I'm hoping you're going to stay around and watch out for all of those videos coming up soon. We're going to do the tail tidy, we're going to do new indicators, new mirrors. We've got so many mods for this bike, it's a joke, and it's going to look spectacular. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that and follow the series along, and you'll see exactly what we get up to with this beautiful bike. I'm hoping you can hear that engine note now, and that's with stock exhaust as well. It's got so much torque compared to like an inline 4. I'm hoping you can hear that. It's just a joyous sound. It's got everything you'd possibly need on this dash as well, although it seems very analog and like it wouldn't have a huge amount of information. If you look down there, you'll see you've got your mileage, obviously your trips are in there somewhere. You've got a fuel gauge, you've got a gear position indicator, you've got miles to empty, all that kind of stuff is actually all down here in those little digital boxes, which I think is an amazing idea. I love this whole kind of look at the front here as well, because the headlight there actually, when you're on the bike, seems to be way out in front of you as well, which you wouldn't expect. I'm sure on the other Bonnevilles it's got slightly closer kind of to your body, as it were, to the tank. It seems quite a far away, the distance to the headlight. I kind of like that. It makes the bike look a little bit bigger, longer. But for the first ride, I mean, we've been riding now for less than 5 minutes, and it just takes me back to the first T120 I had, which, you know, I really missed that, and I'm so glad I bought this. So far, there's no dramas whatsoever with this. It's riding exactly as it should do. As I said in the first part of this video, it's been incredibly well maintained. So we're going to basically pull up at the MOT station in a few minutes, and then we'll cut back in when we got some news, and fingers crossed everything goes as it should do. But so far, for the first initial ride, it's exactly as I expected it rather to be, and no great surprises apart from it's just a joyous bike, and I love it. But I think we are just about here, guys. Rob Blake, in case you were wondering, who does my MOTs, just over there. There's a bike in the front, so I'm assuming he's here. So we're going to cut back in a couple of seconds for you, and then we'll find out exactly what is going on with this MOT. So stand by. But that is it, guys. We have got our brand new MOT. No advisories, nothing really to shout about. It just flew straight through as I assumed it would do, so that's brilliant news. So over the next couple of weeks, we are going to fit all those parts you saw in the beginning of this video to this bike, including X-pipes, new exhaust. We've got to paint the downpipes. All that kind of stuff is going to be up and coming on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that, and give the video a thumbs up and a share if you would. That always really helps. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. You'll get sneak peek previews of all the stuff that we're going to be doing to this bike there as well. And we've got a Facebook page as well called Budget Bikes and Cars. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. Follow me on Instagram and like the Facebook page. That, as I said, would really help. And keep watching this series. We will be fitting all those lovely parts to this lovely bike over the next couple of weeks, basically. So any comments, drop that in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe to see the rest of the work that's going to go on this beautiful T120 Black. Take care, guys. We'll catch up soon.